What a personality are you? This is the one we are dealing with today. What a personality are you? So,
what a personality are you? Introduction. Some time ago, I was invited to attend a high-profile Clinton Global Initiative meeting in New York City to exchange ideas about solving global problems. At this meeting...
Is that not a beautiful thing? Yeah. To exchange ideas about solving global problems. And I think all of us should think that should be normal for every one of us to do. And UN should be inviting us. UNESCO should be inviting us. WHO should be inviting, not me, but just people like you. Just because you are so relevant. Because you carry so much answer, they will be inviting you to the table. Is that not beautiful?
Yes. Sure.
And this is what the whole church is supposed to be about. People from churches are supposed to be invited everywhere to bring answers. And it shouldn't be about one person. We should create and produce so many like this. So many like this. In Ukraine here, my members are everywhere. From the parliament to the airport, they are everywhere. They don't even know they're from me. And I don't even need to go there. I'm not even interested. I don't even do anything. Now our people are everywhere. I'm just okay. And that's a good thing. I don't need that. I don't need to do anything anymore. We have so many personalities everywhere doing different things, politics, economy, all education, just everywhere. And I'm just doing another project with you. I'm making myself irrelevant. Like on Sunday when you were in church, none of these people were in church at the Russians that you see here. Because they are busy doing their own thing. Or everybody's going to do their own thing. They don't need to go to church. Because when you go to church, you need to go to church to get equipped. Once you are equipped, go get busy. Go do it. Go do what you've learned already. Don't just go to church to sit down as a religion. Just go, when you could be expanding the kingdom somewhere. That's why I always say that my dream of the church is to get rid of everybody from the pews and get them into the field. Getting busy and bringing the glory of God everywhere down, establishing it. But the concept of the church right now is that you make them come. Instead of getting them busy to be doing different things, you make them come and sit down and look at you alone, to be good looking in your mouth. As if you are an emperor. We forget, you are not mindful of his concerns. You are thinking about your ego. Things are bad. The way church is being run, things are bad. It's no longer about him. It's about one guy that wants to receive all the accolades and the applause. Sorry. But maybe we could change something, who knows? We just need to talk and sow the seed. Let's see, maybe somebody will get it.
Definitely. At this meeting of the world's most powerful...
Start all over again, please.
Introduction. Some time ago, I was invited to attend a high-profile Clinton Global Initiative meeting in New York City to exchange ideas about solving global problems. At this meeting of the world's most powerful people, I conversed with people like Madeleine Albright, Colin Powell...
Madeleine Albright.
Albright.
And Madeleine Albright.
Yeah, Madeleine Albright, Colin Powell, Richard Branson, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mayor of London, England, former heads of states, and many other such leaders. But there was only one Christian leader.
Look at leader. the Russian. That's my Russian. That's the way we spell Russian.
The pastor of a large and well-known church in the United States. Next. I asked former President Bill Clinton how he heard about me and what I had done to merit being with all these bona fide leaders. He told me, I know about you. I like what I read about you, and I love what you are doing. His answer spoke volumes to me about the state of the church. If our church were only solving internal church disputes and concentrating on personal growth, nobody would have cared about me. But because we have stepped into the kingdom role God has called us to, I was counted among the most powerful people in the world for at least those few days. Next slide. People like Bill Clinton and Rockstar Bono are putting Rockstar Bono are putting kingdom principles to work. Yet people condemn them because they do not act like American evangelicals, or they don't like their personal behavior. But Bono's effort has resulted in billions of dollars going towards poverty abatement programs. Clinton's global initiative is addressing problems God wants solved: alleviating poverty, improving health, stopping religious and ethnic conflicts, and taking proper care of the earth. Most church leaders have not even addressed these issues. Next. Social responsibility. Social responsibility becomes an aspect not of Christian mission only, but also of Christian conversion. It is impossible to be truly converted to God without being thereby converted to our neighbor. John Stott. The most important problems of countless millions people in our society is a question of life or death. This is much more than what color the carpet in the chapel is, or who will sing in the worship band.
See, people are facing the questions of life and death every day, especially in Africa where we come from. Issues of survival every day. And you know what churches are busy doing? Who is going to sing? Who is going to get the microphone? What is the color of the carpet we are going to buy? What is the next Yamaha, what do you call those things?
Keyboard.
That's what church is busy doing. Not resolving real life issues of life and death that surrounding them.
But the Christian community is largely mute on the major issues of the day. As a result, God has passed over many believers. Next. Who is doing what Jesus would do? The people meeting to discuss issues of national and international importance are, for the most part, not Christians, yet they carry God's burden for the poor, unhealthy, prisoner, orphan, downtrodden. While most Christians are like the Levite and the priest in the story of the Good Samaritan.
So what do you think? What do you think? No, wait. Go back. What do you think?
It's a shame.
You see? What do you think? Give him the microphone. Give Pastor Pierre the microphone.
Just to say, I think it's a shame for us as a church.
They need to see your face.
Okay.
Sorry?
Just my feeling was, listening to this, that I feel ashamed personally. As a pastor, I feel responsible.
What is the church doing? You tell me what church is doing. Busy doing. What are we doing?
I think the best of the church is really doing soul winning, trying to win people for Jesus.
So what? So what happens after? You keep them in the church if they die?
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
Because you already have people in the church. What are you doing with them?
Yeah. Making them disciple to win others, but this.
To then bring them again to that prison? You're supposed to be making them into personalities.
Yes.
To go and fix the world.
this aspect is not done. Not at all. No.
Because you keep on keeping new people in the prison, they are wasting away. You are doing more evil that way than good to these same people. If God had wanted to do that, he would have killed them, immediately girls them saved and take them to heaven. Heaven is a better building to take them than here. Because in that kind of meeting, I never met people like Austin, T.D. Jakes. I never met all those kind of people. Creflo Dollar, Copeland, you don't make sure others. They're just doing their stuff. People are just managing their empires. Benny Hinn, those people are not, they are like fringed people out of main life, mainstream life. And those are the fringed out people that we follow. We don't follow people in the mainstream of life. We just put ourselves in some cult, in some corner somewhere, and say we are this charismatic or whatever you give your name.
Some of them we were taught like that. I remember I was taught like that. Our pastor said, my first pastor, as a young convert, he told us humanistic NGOs are already doing this work, but we are the only one who can make the soul winning work. So let's concentrate on that.
They don't understand the kingdom then.
Yeah.
Only the gospel of salvation.
Yeah.
So some people is saved. So what? What follows? He needs to become a human being, God's representative. He needs to carry God's image, God's likeness. He was created for that purpose. Now I have a question to people who are from Africa or Nigeria. What will happen if we are able to make the shift? If we are able to make the shift in this understanding from churches being busy with Yamaha and keyboard and building and carpet cleaning and generator and all that. So if we could get them to focus, to leave their focus from that into what we are talking about, meeting the questions and the needs of the society at large, what do you think will happen, young men? Could that really happen? Or we are hopeless? Or it's hopeless? You just came from Nigeria, so
yes, sir.
You tell me.
Like when I got back to Nigeria,
Louder.
and when I studied the system, like I don't even know where exactly to start with, because like the thing is very, very strong.
Okay.
Because if, like, for instance now, you have some values, like when I arrived to Belarus, nobody taught me values. I am seeing them every day.
Yes.
So eventually I became, like, I started doing them. So when I go back to Nigeria, like everybody just busy with church activities, but it's not effective. Like there is no moral values. And when you try to stand it will look as if you are different. Like it's like this guy just came from that side, so he doesn't understand the system. So like it's difficult for someone to like stand in that kind of environment to like say something. And like I was discussing with some of my friends, and I said, like, what is really going on? Some of them are saying, no money. So especially like in terms of the government, they're saying they are like prisoners because there is nothing. And the way to, like, if you want to really deal with a human being, if there is nothing, like there is no provisions, anything you say, like if you give him money, he can do anything. Talking about the election, like in my state, they were saying that during the election time, 2,000, 3,000 votes for, just press the umbrella, and people were doing it ignorantly, and now they are facing the heat. So lack of knowledge is one of the basic issues, and the church, like, it's difficult. But me, I have thought over it very well. I cannot do anything like for me personally. It's very difficult because I don't know where to start.
Okay, who wants to? Yes.
Yeah, thank you. I think if, let me say, we have about 80 million Christians in Nigeria. If the churches could have this understanding of just teaching their members the right value system, of being faithful, of doing something, not expecting.
Let's take those 4 things: justice.
Yes, justice, truth, equity, righteousness.
Yeah.
Now, if the churches could be open to their members and say, how many of you want to go into politics, for example? Because when you ask everyone, they tell you the government. Now, we are only blaming the government. The church is blaming the government, but the church can do something about it. The church has the right values.
And
people who they have the qualified, educationally they have qualified people who would be governors, who will be senators, who will be lawmakers, who will be in the executive, who will be in all sectors, but
we are keeping them in
the church. But if these people can be taught that, how many of you want to be governors? How many of you want to be in the House of Assemblies? How many of you want to be in the House of Representatives? Train them with the right principles, that as I'm going there, it's not because of what I want to gain. I want to go and impact my nation. I'm not going to make money, because I see that everyone needs money at home. You know, I went the first time 2010, and right from the airport, everybody needed something. I went to open an account. From the gate, entering the bank, the security, they needed money. I was wondering, why is it everyone is just, but you're receiving salary, but you still want me to give you another money. Then coming back was the worst. So I said, why is that? Because we are only thinking of
that is the
self.
only egocentric value system.
Yes.
Because other ones have not been proposed.
So if the churches could do something, could teach their members to be satisfied, because from the country, Germany, I go to offices, people would take time to do something for me. They would make all the things, the documents, the this, and take their time. At the end, they will give it to me and say, oh, they will say, thank you. Oh, we are glad to give it to you. Just thank you, and you walk away. But in my country, after they be say, Oga, at the way to make you don't forget me. Everybody always. So we have this. So now, if the pastors could teach the people the right values, they could release them than keeping them in church. There are politicians staying in church, being elders, choir members, praise worship leaders, and just ordinary members. No one I've just. So it's an encouragement. If the churches say 10,000 people go into politics, there will be a change. Amen. With the right mindset of not taking bribe, not stealing, because the country that I am living in, I've never seen a police collect bribe. No, if you commit an offense, you pay. You are charged for it. They can never collect bribe from you. If you cross the red traffic light, you must be charged. But in my country, in fact, 2014, there was a street I was going, and all the Okada said they are not going there. I was asking, why are you not taking me there? They said, yeah, because at 7 o'clock, the police will be there and they'll be just be collecting money. They are not, just no checking. And if you're not ready to give them money, then don't go there. So, but churches can see this. Okay, how many of you want to be police from this church? Then we train you with the right value system, release you to go and study, become the police, so you go and change the system. So this is what I feel, our country, this is where I feel our country can be transformed.
So let's continue. Put on the light.
who is doing?
Why God?
When God created man, he did it with some great intentions in mind. Man was not supposed to be a passerby on earth, engrossed in his daily survival.
Stop. Is that not where we are right now? Is that not where most of our Christians are?
Yes.
Engrossed in daily survival. Do people really realize that that is bad? That is wrong?
In Nigeria, no.
No, not just Nigeria, everywhere. In England, in America, everybody is involved with daily survival, especially the immigrants. Don't people realize that's wrong?
No, for me, in the Western world, there is a system that operates, so it's okay. Do you understand? Because there's law, there's order, so everybody just lives by that standard. Sorry, everybody lives by that standard, so nobody thinks there's anything wrong. Even Christians. That's why we didn't think you're doing anything wrong, especially in the Western world, because everything there's a system that is being operated, so you just follow the system. But in Africa, it's totally different.
It doesn't matter. Everywhere, people are living for survival. Uncle Sam. In the West, they put you in the box of Uncle Sam, and you follow it.
Yeah.
But why do people do that in the West? Because they want to survive also.
Mm-hmm.
In the developing country like in Africa, it's not as rigid, so we can still formulate that a little bit differently than in the West, where people are like, they have been conditioned.
Conditioned, yes, that's the word.
Yeah. Sorry?
I say structure, there's
Structure, yeah. So, but do people realize, my question to all of you, in Holland, in England, in America, in Africa, do people realize this, that to be engrossed in daily survival is the wrong way of living? Do people realize that or not?
No, they have not.
Very
Few.
cross their mind.
It doesn't even cross their mind.
Say 5%.
No, it doesn't. It's not rebel to the society.
Huh?
It doesn't. I mean, even for me, even though I've got some level of awareness, and I've had for some time, I read Stop Working for Uncle Sam. I read it, and it was like, okay, I agree that's how it's supposed to be, but the reality here on the ground is very different. The system that's been built is so strong that when you are in it, you are not allowed, you are not at liberty to think.
To even think.
How dare you? You don't think the way you don't think in that system. You just toe the line. Just do as you're told. That's how strong the system is. It took coming here the last few days for me to actually see things from your perspective, from the way you're.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So people who just watch me on Facebook don't get it.
Oh.
No, eh?
No.
It's different, eh?
They will get you on. You see, you're talking about the situation in the churches and things like that. They agree with you on those things. But when you come to Uncle Sam is too close to home. Uncle Sam is about a daily survival. As soon as you stop serving Uncle Sam, in Britain, when your salary goes into your bank account, Uncle Sam has mapped it out.
40%.
Before it comes in, he knows what he wants. And try challenging him and you'll see. You try challenging Uncle Sam and you'll see. The bailiffs will be knocking on your door.
So the fact that I'm teaching every day, because now I started talking about Africa, but before then I spoke about all different things. And the basic thing is that get yourself out. You don't live like this. Live for purpose. So it's tough for people to even. So the Uncle Sam is so getting them so engaged. Yes. They don't even have time to contemplate.
Yes. Yeah. And if you look at it, the equivalent of Uncle Sam in Africa is the church.
Ooh.
That's the equivalent. And it's even more powerful. It's more powerful because Uncle Sam is happy with you as long as you're doing certain things. he'll give you a certain level of freedom. Okay?
For you to benefit it.
Yes. He'll give you some incentives to carry on. But in the church, they bleed you dry. They just bleed you dry. They don't care if you perish. And yet you'll be afraid to get out of the system.
If you wanted to say something, or Pastor, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe I'm wrong. What we are saying here tonight for the last few days, I believe, goes beyond what this church we are talking about wants to do or are willing to do.
Okay.
If you look at philosophy of education that we use in Nigeria, in those days, I remember that there's something called civics or something like that.
Yes.
Where they would teach us something about
Social responsibility.
Patriotism and all those kind of stuff. I think they are dead. They are no more in the syllabus. And this is the foundation of the truth, which is not religion, whether you are a Muslim or you are the Abali, whatever you are, that we need to add into the core of our mentality.
Okay.
Is there a way, not only for the DSC, is there a way we can influence somebody in the area of education system, social system, whereby we can begin to think of creation? Instead of looking for a job, why not create something? Why not taking your file and begin to, so is there a way we can look around that area and penetrate?
That is what he's saying, that people are so engrossed in daily survival that the daily survival, the system doesn't even allow you to think like you are thinking now. You are fortunate that you can even think out of the box. That the box is keeping people so tight that even to think, you just want to come out of job and rest and go back again the next time.
But if it's from the school system, whereby it's part of the curriculum. For instance, now, when they brought sex education to Nigeria, that were about to uproar and say, you are corrupting our children, you are teaching them about sex.
That is the advantage of Africa. Africa doesn't have such a stronghold yet, like the West has on people like this, system. So we can still do that in Africa, what you are talking about.
So if something like that can be think about and begin to ponder and see how we can penetrate if religion are trying to drag their feet.
For example, in your own case, I remember your story, which you spoke yesterday, that you have realized your calling and God has given you that understanding, thank God. So what he has now decided to do is to just get a job where he will get minimum sustenance money, spend minimum of time there while he's developing and getting ready. He's developing himself, perfecting himself, so that he could go back and now full-fledged, accomplish his purpose. But you see, so he got himself out of, God helped him. He got himself out of the Uncle Sam. So Uncle Sam is no more having dominion over him. But he's just taking a little bit from them, getting himself ready. He's ready to leave at any time, and then go and do what he wants to do. And that is the challenge that many people would not even think. They don't even have time to think like that because they are so engrossed in this daily survival. And this is one major thing that is holding people down, because when you are engrossed in Uncle Sam, you are not even thinking about God's priority. So God is not having dominion over you. So God's priority, God's will, God's purpose, God's kingdom for you is just like theory. So you are not really living full life. But what Uncle Sam doesn't tell you though is that you will die anyway. And when you die, you will not answer before Uncle Sam, you will answer before the one who created you and sent you here in the first place. So this is one of the greatest awareness we could bring out to people. And I'm saying, and thank you for helping me, for answering the question. I'm saying, are people aware of it? Because I personally, let me tell you the truth, what I was thinking. I thought that every Christian is aware that they are in trouble, they are, Uncle Sam is controlling their lives, and that, they are just planning and trying to get out of it, so that they will be able to face their calling and purpose. But the way you people are giving this answer is like most people don't even have time to think about that. As if, you know, people are just following the flow. And that is a much more bigger problem than I thought. Because I was thinking that even if anybody has been listening to me, I thought they would have gotten that concept. But she mentioned yesterday that no, it is only when you come here that is totally different. Now you are confirming that, than just listening from home. It's not the same. And then you said it, that it's only when I got here these 2 days that I started really, because it's a huge deception to live all your life. I mean, I'm the same age with Shinwe. And, you know, I see her frustration because I left Nigeria together with her in the same plane. You can tell what I've done with my life. But that's why she's crying. That's why she's screaming. Because she wants to just start now. But in her own case, not just Uncle Sam is holding her back. Can you imagine how many people like that? After university, after fourth education, second education. So people are just being wasted. In the millions. And they are supposed to be Christians. And then we were 19. 19. And we are still the same. Looking here, I'm still sitting here, sitting there. But we are no more 19. And that was like yesterday. In another yesterday, we will even not be here. And every day is going for somebody is dying every day. And they have not done anything. They've not even started in the things that God put in them and sent them here for. So that, but the greatest inhibition is that engrossed in daily
survival.
Yeah, engrossed in daily survival. So if that primary elementary awakening is not in everyone, you will not even start to live yet. It's like you are still in slavery.